Hello, hello, hello. We've got two. Looking like it. One will probably be Mick. I'd a guess. But who is the other? Who knows? The secret of the black magic box. Hey. Just. Oh, there we go. Maybe a little better. Oh, down to one, so probably just Mick. What has everybody been up to this weekend? Whoever's listening in. Any good? Bad? Ugly? I'll recount it later, but Lidl have the Airfix model kits on the centre aisle again at the moment. Good evening, Valleys. How we diddling? Good to see you again. I bought a locomotive this week. Have to do a bit of a repair on it. It's going to go into Conrail livery. But I need, well, I'll say I need a pony side frame. I bought an old one off eBay, and I think I'll get it to make fit, but I'll have to sew it down. So to avoid sewing it down, I may just take one of them off and cast it in resin for it. But also, I'm pretty sure that's a similar side frame for the truck on that one. And I have a couple of, not locomotives, but dummy power cars that might sacrifice one of them. In fact, I might even look on eBay for a dummy. One time getting a dummy. It's Spurs. And then just spray it blue. Pick out the details. And I've got a set of Conrail decals. Somebody's put it in their own livery, and it's not actually a bad livery, to be honest. It's a beautiful runner, as all Lathans are. It's a cracking runner. But yeah. Yeah, my health's never going to improve, Valleys. I'm bad at the moment. I'm feeling I'm full of pain, forever popping painkillers. And it's never going to improve because my body's screwed. I think I'm only going to end up taking heavier doses shit painkillers. So that's something to look forward to. But hey, nobody said it were going to be easy, in the words of Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Well, that was a good old programme, Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. A little known factoid. That were boys from the Black Stuff Valleys. That were Yossi Hughes. But a little known factoid from the past is the guy who played Wayne auditioned for AC/DC when Bon Scott died, and they turned him down because they were pissed. And Bon Scott had died of drinking. Yeah, can I have a job? I built that. He said, that's terrible bricklaying. If you can show me bricklaying worse than that, he said, I'll take you on. And he took him round the corner and he showed him this wall. He were up and down and everything. He said, Jesus Christ, that's terrible. He said, I'll take you on. He said, who built that wall? He said, I did. Brilliant programme, boys, from the black stuff. Happy days. It was very much a drama of the day. But it's forgivable thinking it were off the same pet, because off the same pet dealt with very similar issues of the time, like builders being out of work and struggling. Whereas the boys from Black Stuff were a road tarring gang. Hence the name, the boys from the Black Stuff. What the t-shirts I get on. That's tonight's tea. They were delicious as well, though. Cumberland sausage, mash and beans. Simple but delicious. I've watched them since. They don't... If you watched them in the day and enjoyed them, I'd say Off the same pet doesn't really age. I mean, you obviously notice it was in the 80s, but it doesn't really age. It's good to watch still. But Boys from the Black Stuff has definitely aged. You'd watch it now and think it would dire. It were good in the day because it were covering issues that were arising during that time, but there's no connection with it today, really. Boys from, sadly, well, not sadly, because things have improved in some ways. Like now you can work if you really want a job. But back in the early 80s, it was, even if you wanted to work, you struggled. It was a weird old time, the early 80s. There was money about, but no real work. Nobody were investing or anything. They were hard times. This camera's weird. I'll go there. Oh, it's changed again, see? I'll go there and it's like that. Step back and it'll go orange. Or will it? Doesn't want to now. Weirdo. If it goes orange now. So what we've been up to today, Valleys? Anything good? Or indeed any of the other three that are watching? You done anything good? All I've done is go down to Aldi and get a little bit of it shopping and one of the Earthix kits I wanted. I had all the others, or I've had all the others that were in, and I just got the one I wanted, which were, hang on. I got the The Avalon Tiger Moth. Nice kit. Airfix kits have changed so much nowadays. That's a beautiful kit. Funnily, you should mention that, Valleys. That may well be my next video on my channel. I've got point motors. I've got point switches. I've got cork for going under the track. I have to buy some wiring. Right, but I think my next video, or one of the next ones, is going to be making a control board, you know, like in a signal box, the block diagram. I'm going to do that for putting my switches on. And just to, I don't know what I want to do at the front yet. I want the front part of it scenic and a raised town with my sidings underneath at the back, running underneath the back of it with town stuff at the top. And I did want to do my signal box where I used to work, but it just wouldn't work as I wanted it to work. I've tried all ways to figure out and how I put it. And if I do one thing to improve it, it totally wastes another. If I improve that, it wastes the first thing I wanted to do. You can't really selectively compress it, because whatever you do, it wastes everything else. And if it were all compressed equally, it'd just look like a toy. So I'm gonna, because I want it to look realistic to a degree. That's pretty cool. I do like that idea, but I did go in a few types of boxes when I were in signal boxes on railways. And I went in ones with the old L&Y light. I worked in ones with the old L&Y lever frames. I worked in ones where the Westinghouse mini levers. I worked in them, and I also went in East Junction, which were a power box and just switches. So I've pretty much been in all types of them when I was there, apart from obviously the more up-to-date ones. So I saw the insides of most of them. They were interesting places. I definitely used to enjoy popping in and stuff. Like I'd also go out to friends' boxes that they worked in, have a ride out to other areas a bit further afield. So I visited quite a few boxes really when I worked on the railway. Interesting things. And all were quite different really. Some were very similar because they were built around the same time when the L&Y built the line, but some were quite different. They were like 1950s boxes. Others were power boxes. Like the difference is quite astounding, really, when you think about it. Because the mini Westinghouse levers were good to view. Yeah, it's changed so much now. I don't know how far the Piccadilly power box goes in Manchester, but Piccadilly took over all the boxes I used to visit. Piccadilly took them all on. Like Manchester, I think it has Manchester East Junction, but it definitely has West Junction, Deal Street, Irwell Bridge, Windsor Bridge, Brindle Heath, Sidings and Junction, Agecroft, Kersley, like all the boxes down that line. And at a certain point, I think Preston Power Box will take over. So you've got like two power, as far as I know, Preston's still there. There's a power box, but they control vast areas now in one power box. Like I used to think the area. You know, when I went from Manchester down to Birmingham, I was surprised at how many of the old boxes are still there. But I do ask the question how many are actually used and how many have just been saved because they're listed buildings or whatever. A lot must get saved because they're listed buildings. Because I can't see them working as a signal box. But it is interesting. Like Daisy Hill's one near us. Hang on, is it Daisy Hill I'm thinking of? Maybe not. Anyway, it's one near Bolton. But the thing is it's between Preston and Manchester Piccadilly. So the two power boxes must merge somewhere. So I think that's just an empty box, but it's there because it's a listed building. I don't think it's a working box for any stretch of the imagination. I'm beginning to think it's just me and thee. Give me a minute. Valleys, I'm going checking if I've come on right feed here. Oh, there's two watching Mark Downers. Yeah, it's the one I've done. Yeah, we're right. Weird. We've got a quiet night. I think it's just me and V Valleys. Mick's not turned up yet, which is weird. Ah, right. You know something? I didn't know it was bank holiday. So I'm in work tomorrow. Double bubble. Yay. Yippee. Happy days. Makes up for losing a day last week. They didn't put me on roster, so like they said we can give you a day if you want. You can come in one of the days. I said, nah, no thanks. I'll stay at home. Can't fault you, Valleys. Can't fault you one bit. I love cider. I love cider. I used to love, when I was younger, I used to love bitter and lager and stuff. But nowadays, I go for cider. I like cider more nowadays. Funny how your taste changes as you get older. It's a weird old state of affairs. Yeah, I didn't think it were a bank holiday. That's got me. What we in now, August bank holiday. Yeah, Old Speckled Hen's a nice one. I have to admit it is nice, Old Speckled Hen. I have drunk that myself quite often. Unless you include Christmas. Christmas is a bank holiday, technically. Especially if it falls on wrong day, you get an extra bank holiday. But Boxing Day is a bank holiday. Oh, can't fault you. Fantastic, Valleys. I've still got a week's left worth of holidays left. I don't know when to take them, and I've got 2 weeks in December, at beginning of December. I've got some in October. I've got some September. So I'm mostly holidays now, coming up to end of year. Can't fault it because I didn't book them. I didn't book them till late. I worked through all early this year up till about July, then booked my holidays. So I've been off mostly at the moment. Still not enough time off. I'm looking forward to retirement. Hey, last week, Valleys, I dated a girl with eczema. Cracking tits. Oh no, you can't say shit like that. Funny though. Ugh. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun. I'll have to sit down and work out my wiring. I know I'm going to be doing buzz wire all the way around for me track powers and me points and stuff. So two separate. I need 4 colours of wiring because I want wiring for me. Colours of wiring for me actual rails and colours of wiring for me points. Because I don't want to use all red and black. You lose where you're up to. You have to have it colour coordinated for what you're doing. But I'll be going down to my local shop buying rolls of wire and chocky block connectors and stuff. Solder dropper wires on from where. Well, I'm going to have my tracks end where the boards join because I want it so you can strip it. Yeah, so that's a good plan, really. Valleys, I think I'll be doing a lot of DCC upgrades now because I've enough locals. I must have about 130 locals now. It's time to call it a day on buying in because I've got enough for me rail blue outlaw. Enough, but well, I don't know. I might sell some I don't want and buy some that I do want, but I've got class 25s, class 08s, class 40, class 37s. Like I've got a few class 31. Like so, there's a few I have. I can run it off them for a start off because I have DMUs that run during the period as well. So I have a good setup of stock because I have a lot of newspaper vans for the empties. I've got trains for expresses, trains like carriages for expresses. I've got an HST that wouldn't have passed through. Well, I say it wouldn't have. It has done at least once because there's photographic evidence of it going through Manchester, Victoria, but it wouldn't have been a regular route because the HSTs originally were East Coast and Man Victoria's in West Coast territory. So the two wouldn't have really met at one point. You had Eastern Region and like what did we come under Midland in Manchester. We come under Midland Region. I came back to the LMS, London, Midland and Scottish. So yeah, it was like British Rail days. They still had the divisions that the LMS, Great Western, had. They still all had all of them because they had Western Region, Eastern Region, Midlands, Scottish Region, and Southern. So they still had all the basic regions they had. Yeah, true. True, that's a fair few old Lima diesels. I mean, geez, if I went round to. I bought a Lima electric the other week. I think I've already shown it. Bought a Lima Class 87. Cracking little loco. Cracking runner. I've got the proper plates for it to put on. Proper etch brass, City of London. So where have I got them? That City of Glasgow, they sent me by mistake. So I may just get another one and make City of Glasgow. I don't know. Isn't it? Yeah, it's like I bought the other day as well. I went out and like I say, I've been buying point motors, switches. I bought some curved points some Pico. They were 50 quid between the two of them. Points are horrendous now, 25 quid each. Don't mention Westerns to me at the moment. I were bidding on Western detailing kit on eBay. And I've got a scrap Western, Lima Western. Oh, cool. I'll bear that in mind because I think I'm going to, Valleys. I think I'm going to want some. I've got about, I think I've got 7 or 8 at the moment. But I'm going to need more than that because I'm going to be using at least 4 just on the rear yard. Because I've got 2 two-ways at each end, so that's 4-point motors there before you start. Oh, fantastic, Valleys. I'll get on to you at a later date. I've got all I need at the moment. But yeah, that's worth a thought. Any day you'll have to tell us if you want out for any swaps or cash or whatever. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. 3 here and 2 there and 3. I've got 6. Yeah, I've got 8 at the moment. Get them in job lots. 3 here, 2 there, 3 in another place. Oh, cheers, Valleys. It'll be a good home because I want to make a shunting area. Say, I'm not fully decided what it may be. It may be a scrapyard to go like what used to happen near where I worked. I want a lot of echoes included in the layout from where I used to work, which we used to have a scrapyard, and it were picked up from the scrapyard by British Rail. So I think what happened, I only went one night. I went in the brake van, and they left the brake line van on the main line, went into the scrapyard and picked the wagons up and brought some down and back off with the wagons. Now, I don't think the scrapyard had their own shunter, but for poetic license, I've got private shunters. I've got the Hornby, the what do you call it? Oh, flipping heck, Tiptongi Sentinel. I've got about 4 Hornby Sentinels, so I can probably do one in private livery and appropriately weather and batter it for a scrapyard. And I've got an 08 with the old mineral wagons they used, mineral wagons and brake vans, so I can have it picking up and dropping off wagons. And then I want a bit of a shed, I think. There weren't a shed where I work, but I can have a miniature video, miniature version of Newton Heath on it, and have the area surrounded by a town. I'm going to have a couple of bridges on it because I want somewhere to display Oxford cars and stuff. You know, for the money, you missed out not so long ago. They had a sale and they had them for 60 quid a piece. So I got the London Carriers one. Nice locos, they're really nice. Beautiful runners and they look the part. beautiful detail, beautiful runners. And it's not often I praise Hornby because you see some horrors nowadays coming from Hornby. But that's one of the success stories, the Sentinel Shunters. Yeah, and I don't know whether it's out yet, but I want the Northampton Saints Class 66. They're not really in my era, but I like the sheds. I have about 2 or 3 of them at the moment. Trying to remember, I've got the EWS. An EWS one, I think, might be Lima, might be Hornby. Well, there goes the story. I've got a Black 5 and Hornby LMS one, and it runs, but I'm not impressed with its running abilities. It's fairly slow, but the detail is beautiful. The detail's exquisite, but they're not reliable. They don't have the reliability. And a lot of people are going, oh, they're fantastic because of the detail. Yeah, but the insides are cheap Chinese shite. They've not got good motors. The pickups that if you want to do any work on a new Hornby, you've got to be very, very dexterous with your fingers. And you've got to know what you're doing, because they are so finicky and fragile. Granted, they make the effort to make them a fantastic piece of kit from new. But unlike the old stuff, that doesn't last for long. And eventually you're going to have to repair them. And there is a problem because you can't get spurs. Spurs are practically non-existent. And they're a nightmare to work on anyway. And I was trying for months, not so long since, to get a wheel for a Chinese Flying Scotsman. Well, it's not a Flying Scotsman, it's an air forward. But theoretically, it's the same tender and same wheels. And it's for an early Chinese one. One of the ones with the early geared front and back. Can you get them? Not a prayer. Yeah, it's for an early tender drive Chinese one. Spurs are non-existent. If you want spurs for the loco drive tender wheels, any colour you want. But you're going to, because they're non-driven. How many times are you going to need wheels? If they supply them as spurs, how many times are you going to need wheels for a non-driven tender? It's like wagon wheels. It's something you'll basically probably never replace, because they're on needle points. Like that's spinning beautiful. And that thing is still going now. I can feel it through fingertips. And that's battered and sitting in a drawer. So, yeah. Yeah, the old Hornby Black 5 is. I could get you the exact date from mine, because I'm not going in looking now because my living room light doesn't work. But I could go in and get it, and get the date off it because it still has old paperwork. So I'd know the exact year, but I've got a feeling it's a 1990s one. I guess, but it might go into 2000s. I didn't buy it new anyway, let's put it that way. But like I say, it's a beautiful model. I can't fault the detailing. The detailing's gorgeous, but it's not a good runner. I've got one I've to repair. It'll be nice. I'll have to send off. Where's the body gone? Oh, where's I bet I've tucked it in there now. The body. I've got an LMS Patriot, I think it is, and it's a Bachmann branch line or whatever. And the buffer beam snapped off. But I've got another body. And I'm going to sew it off and glue it on and fill it some metal in to strengthen it. But that one, I need nameplates as well for it. So that should be nice. Anyway, Valleys, I think for tonight, there's only me and thee in here. And we've had a good catch-up. Been nice catching up with you. But I think I might call it a night and get a bath and sort my uniform out. Because there's only two of us, and it's like, when there's not a few of you, it condenses what you have to catch up on. So we've had 41 minutes, it's been good. Found out what we've both been up to. Been a good catch up. And now I might go and do a little bit of modelling while I'm waiting for... I've got the heating on because my uniform's on the radiators. Just washed it today, so... There we go. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, I've got some holidays coming up. So I'm going to be on anyway, Valleys. So for now, people, whoever's the other ones who have just come in, I'm going and saying tatty pie and catch us later when I do next one. Tatty bye, people.